I'm going to make a sweeping statement, and I'm going to say that it seems like so many young people today seem much more interested and organized when it comes to doing well by the environment.
Mm-hmm. I think that the young folks, millennials, Gen Z, maybe I think it kind of started with millennials. There was more, even when I was coming out of school, I know in military school, I remember finding out about Earth Day like my junior year of high school, right, and senior year. And I think there's been more attention being made on that, talking about protecting our planet and making it better for the next generation. Unfortunately, like everything else in this country, it's become politicized, right? Like it's a political thing to say things like, hey, just so you know, climate change is happening and all those things. And it's like, I just wish that we can keep politics out of certain things. Now, you asked a question about things that I do. I'll tell you what I do. I feel pretty good about recycling. And so some of you guys are listening and you're like, gee, duh, recycling. I go around the country and I go some places that folks ain't recycling. So I feel good about myself that I do a good job in recycling.
When you go to these other places that they don't recycle, do you do as they do, or do you continue to make an effort to recycle when you're...
I do as they do. I don't want to stand out and cause no problems.
No!
You asked me what I did. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I do as they do.
So I think there are a couple of things that you could do very easily. Like if you're thinking like, okay, I'm not doing my part. One thing that I have gotten involved with that I think a lot of people still don't know about is these Buy Nothing groups. So on Facebook, you can join a Buy Nothing group in your neighborhood, and there are Buy Nothing groups all over the country. So in fact, just around my neighborhood, we have several, but you are assigned to one in particular. And so for people who don't know what this is, so many of us have things like your trash may be someone else's treasure, or you're ready to declutter, whatever it is. And you post on this site, and there are people who will take it instead of buying new. So the idea is just, finding new purpose for these things that you no longer need. And I love that idea, not to mention that you create this great community. Yeah. So if you aren't already doing it, Buy Nothing is a great way. The other thing that I think is right now our sons are moving in together. They found a place in Lower Queen Anne, and they need to furnish some stuff. And again, instead of buying new, I'm like trying to encourage them to go look on Craigslist and actually buy used furniture. Because there's so much there. And it's amazing what you can buy for so little, because people are so ready to just get rid of their stuff.
Well, this Earth Day conversation, so I don't know what people are doing listening outside of our YouTube page, right? But do you know that when we came into this segment and it established that we were talking about Earth Day, that our people inside of it dropped? It dropped. Yeah. Because let's be real, I don't think really Earth Day, because I'm looking on social media, nobody's talking about it anymore like it used to. And my question is it a big deal? Is it a big deal to preserve here where we live, our environment, for the next generation?
It is, but I don't think people pay as much attention to Earth Day for a couple of reasons. One, we have taken for granted things like the EPA, things like the Clean Water Act. Right? If you grew up in the 60s, you remember the Cuyahoga River being lit on fire from industrial pollutants. So we got the Clean Water Act, we got the EPA. Well, both of those agencies are under attack right now. Like the Clean Water Act, they just gutted that for 60% of the nation's streams and wetlands. We're going to see what environmental impacts are. The second thing is I think a lot of people are aware of climate change, but also feel like they can't do anything and nothing can be done to stop it. You saw real environmental wins during, 60s, 70s, 80s, the return of, bald eagle populations, whale populations, forests being protected, all kinds of things. And it feels like the problems are so big now, it's difficult to tackle.
You're exactly right, which is why I wanted to focus when we said, okay, we're going to talk about this, because initially my eyes glazed over. I'll be honest. It's like, okay, we want to talk about Earth Day. But what are little things that you can do? The Washington Post has a few suggestions. Using cold water in your laundry and dishes. Something as simple as that. Composting. Cook vegetarian for a night. Something that
Meatless Mondays, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. There are little things that you could do right now that wouldn't take you. You don't have to get political. Kirk in Mount Vernon just said, Ursula, I got a beautiful Ethan Allen sectional, and when I looked it up, it was over $8,000. I believe that, by the way, and I got it for $250 right at a thrift store.
Wow.
I mean, again, like, think about it. Do you need to buy brand new, or can you use, can you find something used?
Think about this too. How many items throughout the course of a year do we impulse purchase on Amazon that we could have done without, or we could have picked up at a store, while we were getting something else that we needed? Because I know that's something that I struggle. I'm like, I could get it here tomorrow. Click, click, click. If I'd waited a week, I probably wouldn't even remember to buy it.
Okay, can I just share what someone texted? 425 says, Ursula, I have dishes and silverware if your boys need. My son got married and no longer needs them. I mean, that's the kind of energy that we need going into this. They don't need that just because they have some recycled stuff, and I've happily bequeathed some of our excess. Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of energy we need to have. Don't make it political. Hey, just what's one little thing that I can do?
And Gee, you got to start driving that Tesla around again, buddy.
I don't know. By the way, I held myself back. I really, you, Ursula asked that one more time. What's that one more thing that you can do? And I was thinking it. I'm just like, no, should you say it? No, I shouldn't say it. So anyway, I'll just wait till I get home.